It's a rare neurodevelopmental disorder that affects approximately 50,000 children and adults in the United States and more than 1 million worldwide.
Wow. You know, no one is born with it. Instead, it evolves over time in very young children from treatment-resistant seizures.
We're going to start with Tracy Dixon-Salazar, the executive director of the only global organization focused on helping those who suffer.
We're going behind the mystery of Lennox-Gastaut syndrome.
Tracy knows firsthand the devastating effect of LGS. Her daughter, Savannah, developed it at 5 years old as a result of uncontrollable epilepsy, which began when she was 2.
She started having seizures every day. She quickly started having more than one type of seizure. And she started having them so frequently that a good day was 5 to 10 seizures a day, and a bad day was hundreds, too many to count. And so her brain was trying to grow, and it was trying to put itself together the way that a toddler's brain does, and yet she had all of these seizures that were preventing that from happening. And it really impacted her learning, her memory, and her ability to retain information over time. It was just the most scary, helpless, frustrating feeling in the world. And it was happening to one of the most precious things in my life, my baby girl, and there was really nothing that we could do to stop it.
The Balancing Act is on location at NYU's Comprehensive Epilepsy Center to meet with Dr. Orrin Devinsky.
Lennox-Gastaut syndrome is a disorder typically beginning in childhood, often in young childhood. Several seizure types, often difficult to control, often including either tonic or atonic seizures, intellectual disability or developmental delays, and specific features on the EEG. And the two most important ones are slow spike and wave discharges, and the other classic EEG feature of LGS is called generalized paroxysmal fast activity, and it's a relatively specific signature for LGS.
Determined to be part of the research community committed to understanding LGS, Tracy enrolled in college and received her bachelor's degree and ultimately her Ph.D.
Once we processed getting the diagnosis of LGS, we got up off the floor, wiped our tears, and decided we were going to move forward. And this is really when I hit school full force. I wanted to understand what doctors were thinking and what they were saying, because I couldn't fix it. I couldn't help my daughter, and I wanted to do something that could try to help her as we're sitting there watching her lose her skills, lose her ability, and maybe lose her life.
There are many potential underlying causes of LGS, like genetic disorders or lack of oxygen to the brain. Unfortunately today, the medications that we have available are not fully effective in controlling seizures for the vast majority of these individuals. There's no cure. We wish there was a magic bullet, but medicine's not close to that at this time.
By the time she was 18, she had had more than 40,000 seizures. She had tried and failed more than 26 different treatments, and we were losing her. And I think the worst part of all of that was that 2 to 4 times a week, she would go into status epilepticus, nonstop seizures, where we would have to intervene to stop the seizures with medicines. But if that didn't work, it was a trip to the emergency room, where they would give her more drugs intravenously, and if that didn't work, she'd be put into a medically induced coma. And that was our life for 16 years.
The impact of LGS on a family is, I think, unimaginable. Parents live on edge. At any point, their child could go into what could be a life-threatening seizure. Their children go to sleep at night, and they may have to worry about sudden, unexpected death in epilepsy, SUDEP. And unfortunately, there are just many ways that these individuals who suffer from uncontrolled seizures really can impact mortality. Their judgment's impaired about what's safe and what's not safe, so they really have to be watched closely.
It was during my postdoc, and my advisor asked if we wanted to do genetic sequencing on Savannah, and we jumped at the chance for this opportunity. What we discovered was there was something wrong with her calcium pathway, which means that maybe we can fix it. And we actually ultimately ended up finding a drug that went in there and patched up a hole that was letting too much of the calcium in. And it was amazing the results that we saw after we put her on that. Dropped her seizures down exponentially. She's growing again, and she's developing, and she's walking and talking, and it's like we met her for the first time. All right, that's amazing, you did it! I just remember thinking, wow, our lives are really different than they used to be. She's just growing into a lovely young woman that we were told would never live to be 28 years old.
The future and hope for people with LGS has never been brighter. There are several medications that will be undergoing clinical trials. There are gene therapies for certain rare disorders that can be part of the LGS spectrum. And I think there are new neuroscientific techniques that will allow us to treat seizures and other disabilities more effectively in the future. Our progress in science has been exponential, and I do believe there's a lot of hope for these individuals.
The mission of the Lennox-Gastaut Syndrome Foundation is to improve the lives of individuals impacted by Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, or LGS. That includes the whole family. And we do this by raising money for research, by supporting and empowering our families, and educating the community about what LGS is. Since I took over as the executive director at the LGS Foundation about a year ago, we have lost many children and adults that have LGS in our community. And it's heartbreaking to see the struggles that they go through, and it is a life-threatening illness. And we believe at the foundation that if patients and families are a part of the creation of new medicines, of new programs, of new interventions, if you're actually working with us and not designing at us or for us, that will go further faster.
The LGS Foundation has been extraordinary and has been a major mover of, I think, pushing science forward. I think the community building and bringing families together may be the most important part of this, because people share experiences, people share knowledge of techniques that work, doctors who have been especially sensitive and helpful in caring for their children. So I think all of those things are intangibles. When they're all put together, the LGS Foundation has just been an amazing benefit for this community.
The one thing I think that she's taught us is to live in the moment. She doesn't fret about the past. She doesn't worry about the future. She just lives in the now and whatever's in front of her, and we try to do that with her. I don't know what the future holds, but we have had 11 amazing years. Our lives are so different than they were 11 years ago, and we are just going to enjoy every second of it. And we're also just going to keep fighting for every other LGS family out there, that they find some stability and some seizure control like we did.
For more information on Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, visit lgsfoundation.org.
And of course, you can always visit our website, thebalancing.com.
We'll be right back.